guys, what's going on? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm sorry I haven't posted in forever. Although no, I'm not. I don't really need to say sorry, I don't think. Because I don't have any tripping over my words. I don't have any subscribers yet. Totally okay, gives me some time to get the hang of this new YouTube channel thing. And actually start putting out some decent videos with good content. Hope we get a little better at inspiring people and uplifting people and actually giving some relatable tips and I don't know, tips, life advice, relatability, vulnerability, etc. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Katerina Philomena. I am a teen entrepreneur building a network marketing business almost completely online through the methods of attraction marketing, following in the footsteps, slowly but steadily, of the one and only Boss Lee, Jessie Lee Ward. If you have not already checked her out, regardless of if you're in network marketing or not, I totally suggest you go follow her. She is crazy, wild, amazing energy, super caring, super loving, totally relatable, and just focusing her life so much on uplifting people, empowering people, enabling people to go where they want to go by improving their life, improving their character, etc. And I'm really blessed since I met her last year, 13? No, it was more like 15 months ago, out in Las Vegas at a women's expo, Women's Empowerment Network Marketing, Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing. Out of the 3 days that I was there, all the amazing panels, all the amazing inspiration to pull from, the amazing, wonderful leaders. I love how they're so down to earth and so they never ask more of their followers, their team, than they're willing to give out, put in, commit to themselves. They're right there working alongside their teams. They are not, some are untouchable. Jessie Lee is definitely not untouchable. She is probably busier than almost anybody that you will ever meet, and just by that fact alone, the fact that she takes time out of each and every day to connect with her followers, connect with her business team, connect with her friends, connect with her family on a one-on-one personal level, just blows my mind. So anyways, that's my shout out. I've got my lemon water. Usually I'm drinking my Smart Energy because I feel amazing, it tastes amazing, etc. Yes, I will be promoting a few things a little bit on and off, but totally no pressure, just things I love and love to share with people. So anyways, tonight, I'm super excited to be coming back. This isn't live, it's a recorded video, and after this, I'm actually going to go on my Facebook page and go live, not who we were, but who we want to become. If you have Facebook, I would love for you guys to totally come check it out. If you're into personal development, logic, I was gonna say left brain or right brain, but I'm not sure which side of the brain I'm looking for right now. The one that deals with rational thinking and reasoning and all of that. If you are that sort of a person, I think you would like the content that I have to put out. And I'm actually doing sort of a video series on my favorite book which is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Dr. Stephen Covey. I'm sure a lot of you who will watch this have probably at least heard of it. Most of you probably have not read it. Some of you may have. This really struck a lot of chords with me. It was really relatable. And easy to follow, easy reading, but so good. I've reread it like 2 times. I haven't quite finished the book either time because I keep stopping and going back and rereading what I've already read, just because I keep pulling more content and more value, and trying to find little ways to apply that in my life before moving on to the next step. So there's 7 habits, and I'm doing a video series called, I'm kind of resharing some content, and this is 10 big ideas from the 7 habits of highly effective people. So these are just kind of points of discussion, topics of interest, and a little bit of insight into how and why this book has been changing the lives of people who actively apply its principles and its methods in their basic lives. And so with that, I'm gonna get started. I'm starting over. I started this already on my Facebook page, and I'm a couple videos into it, but I figured since I'm just starting up again for my YouTube channel, I'm gonna start over and do recorded videos. I'm not sure how to do the YouTube live just yet. Haven't put a whole lot of time and effort into figuring it out either. Hello, Google, right? But eventually, I do definitely plan and look forward to doing some live videos, as I have had really amazing experiences doing that on Facebook, and hopefully in the future Instagram as well. So the law of the harvest governs, right? We always reap what we sow, no more and no less. If you plant a garden, if you plant peas, you're gonna get peas. If you plant beans, you're gonna get beans. If you plant potatoes, you're gonna get potatoes. If you plant pumpkins, you're not gonna get tomatoes. If you plant, if you plant lettuce, you're not gonna get carrots. You reap what you sow, and you reap what you actually cultivate, what you actively, consistently, conscientiously cultivate and work to grow. So Stephen Covey reveals some incredibly cool and really powerful proven practices for change in this best-selling book of his, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And they are powerful, deep lessons in personal change, but not so deep that they're, hard to follow or, unreasonable. And in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Covey actually presents a holistic and integrated and very principle-centered approach for solving both personal and professional problems, which in my experience in my life this book has proved incredibly helpful in a whole lot of little things, which could have eventually added up to big things, and which are now adding up to bigger things, but in a positive, really exciting way. And so the 7 habits are based on principles, and with these principles, Covey actually provides us with a simple and a reliable way to adapt with change, along with the wisdom and the power to take advantage of the opportunities that change creates. So with that in mind, here are 10 ideas, 10 big ideas from his book. So according to Covey, so I'm just going to quick run through the 7 habits for those of you who don't know what they are, aren't familiar with them. The first one is being proactive. Number 2 is beginning with the end in mind. 3 is putting first things first. And then number 4 is thinking win-win. Learning to solve problems that are mutually beneficial to both sides. Number 5 is seeking to understand and then to be understood. Number 6 is synergizing, being synergistic. And number 7, last but definitely not least, is sharpening the saw. Don't be so busy driving you forget to get gas. Don't be so busy cutting up your wood, sawing, that you forget to sharpen your saw. And so since these habits are principle-based, they empower people through more continuous learning and continuous growth. And I've definitely noticed the more I actively apply these principles, these habits in my life, the more I consistently work to integrate them into my basic characters, to work at building them up until they become a second nature, and then in the process sharing it out with other people and sharing what I'm learning and how it's benefiting me so that others can benefit as well and have better lives, better futures, and happier lives. And so, because the 7 habits are based on principles, they can bring the maximum long-term beneficial results possible. They become the basis of a person's character, creating an empowering center of what we would say like correct maps from which an individual can effectively solve problems, maximize opportunities, and continually learn and integrate other principles in an upward spiral of growth. So just talking about, there's 4 quadrants of time management. So Covey introduces a simple matrix of urgent and important to look at our daily activities and how we spend our time, categorizing them into one of the 4 quadrants and acting accordingly. So quadrant number 1 is things that are urgent and important, both urgent and important. Number 2, quadrant 2, things that are not urgent, but they are important. Definitely important, but not urgent. 3 is your things that are urgent, but not important. And quadrant number 4 is things that are neither urgent nor important. So getting into these, the 4 quadrants a little bit more. So in quadrant number 1, you're going to have, your crisis, your really pressing problems that need to be solved right here, right now, and your deadline-driven projects. In quadrant number 2, you're going to have the not urgent. So prevention. So number 1, quadrant 1 is the important and urgent, and getting into number 2, which is not urgent but really important. So these are going to be prevention, PC activities, relationship building, recognizing new opportunities, planning, recreation. Then you've got your quadrant number 3. So this is not important but somewhat urgent. Interruptions, some calls, some mail, some reports, some meetings, proximate pressing matters, popular activities. And then you've got quadrant number 4, which is neither important nor urgent. And so this is your trivia, your busy work, buzzwork, busy work where you're not actually being productive or effective, some mail, some phone calls, time wasters, and a lot of pleasant activities. So here's a simple way to think about these quadrants and how you characterize your time. So people who manage their lives by crisis are actually, they spend 90% of their time in quadrant 1, so urgent and important. And then they spend the remaining 10% in quadrant 5 with only negligible attention to the other 2 quadrants, quadrants 2 and 3. And a lot of other people actually spend a great deal of their time in quadrant 3 thinking that they're in quadrant 1. So quadrant 1 is the urgent and important. Quadrant 3 is the not important but urgent. So a lot of us get caught up in things that are urgent, that we think are both urgent and important, but we don't take the time to realize, the time and effort to realize and understand how and why they are urgent and not actually important. And actually people who spend time almost exclusively in quadrants 3 and 4 lead typically very irresponsible and in the end unhappy lives. So where do effective people spend their time? They actually spend it in quadrant number 2. And so quadrant 2 is your prevention, like I said, your prevention, your PC activities, your relationship building, recognizing new opportunities, planning, recreation. For me, I think my favorite right now is just relationship building. I do a lot of what I call happy mail, snail mail. I like to get really artsy and creative and do creative cards and send them out to people. Sometimes I do totally random. I did take 2 weeks out to send happy mail cards and letters to my closest friends, people who meant the most to me, people I really wanted to have in my inner circle, be closer with, bond better with, etc. And just the inner happiness of being able to pay forward a smile, a piece of happiness to somebody else, make somebody else's day, by taking a little bit of time and effort towards making them feel that way. Is just, for me, that's a really huge thing. I just recently read, kind of going off on a tangent here, I just recently read this past winter, Dr. Gary Chapman's The 5 Love Languages. Another book I would very highly recommend for anybody and everybody, especially those, especially those considering marriage or already married, but even especially too for, just anybody who has any sort of relationship issues, whether it be with family, with friends, with business associates, as well as, of course, a spouse or a significant other. But just finishing, there's a test you can take to evaluate or assess like what your primary love language is. And I actually had kind of a toss up between two. So my primary one is quality time. So spending time with people who mean the most to me, people I'm closest to, I trust, and can communicate freely with. And then right next under that is words of affirmation. So genuine compliments, whether it be on, clothes or character or, just about anything that complements an effort to achieve. That recognition means a lot to me. I appreciate knowing that, others can see the effort that I'm putting into whatever it is, they're complimenting. And that really hits home with me. And also, and so vice versa, those, on the polar opposite side of those spectrums, when people don't want to spend time with me or they pull away, that really cuts deep, that really hurts, as well as some verbal insults, not as much as it used to, thanks so much to my personal development resources teaching me how to kind of learn to practice to tune out the negative, and also more importantly, and I'll get into this a little bit later, increasing the gap between stimulus and response. The freedom, increasing my understanding and appreciation of my freedom to choose my response to any given situation, to any given stimulus. So instead of reacting, learning to respond with empathy. And I'm definitely not a master at it, but I feel I'm getting a whole lot better at it than I was a year ago, for sure. I'm seeing it improve my life, my relationships everywhere, in little ways here and there, which will eventually compound and make for us, I believe, a phenomenal future with those I love and those closest to me. Or should I say more especially, like those I should appreciate more, and those who probably love me more than I think I love them. So learning to appreciate people more. But anyways, back to, I've got a little bit of toothache coming on. But anyways, getting back into the quadrants. So, effective people stay out of quadrants 3 and 4, because urgent or not, they aren't important. And they also shrink quadrant 1 down to size by spending more time in quadrant 2. So they reduce their amount and their number of, crises and pressing problems, their deadline driven projects by, spending more time in quadrant 2, which, building those relationship builders, that planning, that recognition and appreciation of new opportunities, learning to adapt to change, etc. And so, quadrant 2 is the heart of personal management, and it deals with things that are not urgent but are so important. And just on a little bit of an off note, on an off key, this really strikes home with me, because back to one of my absolutely favorite role models. She is definitely not, I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me, and that's okay. She is just absolutely my vibe tribe. And she is a leader that I would 100% follow, um, to get what I want. I am totally willing to be coachable and to learn, to actively do what she has done and what she is doing, in order to get some of the things that, she has gotten, she is getting, and other things as well that I want in my life. Because, like I said, she's very quadrant 2 oriented, and I love that so much about her, because that is what her business building, methods are all about. Building relationships with others, connecting with others, empathizing with others, adding value to other people's lives, sharing your story, being relatable, not being salesy and spammy, but at the same time not, expecting things to just, not just expecting money, to fall out of the sky, just pure luck, learning to actually put in the work, and the effort to achieve for the business, selling the products, etc., but learning to do it the right way, in a way that, people actually, people want to buy, and people actually come to know and love the products and benefit from the products, in their own lives, and, be surrounded by an amazing, uplifting, empowering culture, accountability, etc. So anyways, getting into my third point, the character ethic versus the personality ethic. I'm going on 21 minutes. I'm going to try and keep this to half an hour. So the personality ethic is based on your attitudes, your skills, your techniques, whereas, on the other side, the character ethic is based more on values, on attributes, on principles, and, based on his research, Dr. Covey concluded that while the personality ethic provides some very useful tools, the character ethic is really the ultimate key, to lasting success, from the inside out. And to quote, in stark contrast, almost all of the literature, in the first 150 years or so, focused on what could be, called the character ethic. The foundation of success. Things like integrity, humility, fidelity, temperance, courage, justice, patience, industry, simplicity, modesty, and the golden rule. And, Benjamin Franklin's autobiography is a representative of that literature. It is basically, the story of one man's effort to integrate certain principles and habits deep within his nature. Now, I have not personally read, the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. I'm not 100% sure how accurate that is. That is just an excerpt from the book. So just a little bit of a disclaimer there. One second. Ooh, lemon water. So good. But anyway, so the character ethic taught that, that there are basic principles of effective living. So, and, it taught that people can only experience, true success and enduring happiness as they learn and actually actively integrate these principles into their basic character. And so, shortly after World War One, the basic view of success shifted away from the character ethic to what we might, be inclined to call the personality ethic. Success became more a function of personality, of public image, of attitudes, of behaviors, skills, and techniques, things that lubricate the processes of human interaction. And, the personality ethic, essentially took two paths. One was human and public relations techniques, and the other was, positive mental attitude, PMA. So, some of this philosophy was expressed as your attitude determines your altitude, smiling wins more friends than frowning, and whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And I believe, that there is a lot of truth to all three of those, but that they cannot stand alone. They need, they need the character ethic to complement and to support them, because without a solid character, success either won't last or it won't be, almost definitely won't be honest, and not necessarily dishonest in, terms of, felony dishonesty, but, just dishonest into where it becomes manipulative, and also, the things surrounding manipulation, etc. So anyways, with that, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm getting close to a half an hour. I hope you guys got some insight, some inspiration, some value from this. I would appreciate if you guys did, for you to give me a thumbs up in the give me a thumbs up. Let me know what your favorite part was in the comments below. And also, if you are into personal development, what are some topics that you are struggling with in your life that you want, some things, principles that you want to incorporate into your life and get better at. I would love for you, if you want to drop those in the comments below, or just, topics that you would, personal development topics you would want to learn more about. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of, right now it's night, or day, whatever time you guys are watching this, and an amazing rest of your week or weekend, and I will talk to you guys next time.